Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's ECA Learning Zone webinar, all about sustainability, led by our commercial associates, Silver Fox. Our presenters today are Sham Jeffrey and Henry Orton from Silver Fox. Welcome both. Today, Sham and Henry will outline the steps you can take as an electrical contractor to make your business more sustainable and even become carbon neutral or carbon negative. Today's webinar will include a Q&A at the end. You should see a question mark button on your screen now. Do feel free to make use of this at any point in today's presentation, and we will answer as many of your questions as we can at the end. And finally, I'd like to remind you that a full replay of today's session, as well as replays of the entire ECA Learning Zone series, is available on our YouTube channel. That's at youtube.com/ECA Live. And finally, if you're an ECA member watching us, do also remember to log into the technical area of our website and the My ECA members area, where you can access our industry-leading technical support, guidance notes, FAQs, and much more. That's at eca.co.uk/MyECA. That's enough from me. I hope you enjoy today's presentation, and over to you, Sham.
Thank you very much, Omar, and thanks for that lovely introduction. Firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sham Jeffrey. I'm the Senior Marketing Executive at Silver Fox. I joined Silver Fox in January 2023, and previous to that, have been working for the IET for 3 years. Today, I'm joined by my colleague Henry, who I'll pass over to provide a little bit of background into himself.
Hi there, I'm Henry. I've been at Silver Fox for a couple months now. I have an engineering degree and work within Sham's team, with one of my roles being that I work on current and future initiatives to ensure that Silver Fox remains carbon negative. I will now pass back over to Sham to start the presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Henry. Firstly, you may be wondering who Silver Fox are. So I'd like to give you a little bit of a background into Silver Fox. Silver Fox are a manufacturer of cable, wire, pipe and equipment label for various sectors around the world. We've been operating and manufacturing in the UK since 1979. We have a network of global distributors, and our products are made in the UK and shipped globally. We work with engineers and consultants on a range of products, and we've been a carbon negative company since 2020. We provide a unique labeling solution, and we have a little short video just to show you what Silver Fox is about. We hope that video gave you an idea of just how Silverfox can help you with your project and help you turn time into profit. I'll now pass over to my colleague Henry in a moment just to go and run through some of the green initiatives that we have taken here at Silverfox. Please note that these aren't one size fits all, but will hopefully give you ideas on how you can implement your own green strategies. So with that, I'll now pass over to Henry.
Thank you, Sham. So our first initiative began in 2012 when we installed solar panels to the roof of our headquarters in Welwyn Garden City. Our solar panels generate around 4,000 kilowatt hours per year, which comes to around 40 to 41,000 kilowatt hours in their lifetime. During business operational hours, the generated electricity is used by us, but in the evenings and weekends, the electricity goes back into the grid. Our solar panels were installed with J Brand, whose information can be provided after this presentation. The cost of installing the 16-unit solar panel setup was around £12,000, but if the setup cost is shared between neighbouring buildings, the price can be significantly reduced. Sadly, our neighbours were not interested. At the time of installation, the government were offering a scheme in that for every kilowatt hour generated from a 16-unit solar panel set, no matter if it's used or not, we would receive 45p. Although this scheme isn't operational now, it's more than likely that there are other schemes available, and due to the greater efficiencies and energy generating capabilities of solar panels that are currently on the market, payback time periods will be significantly decreased. In terms of maintenance, we clean the solar panels twice a year ourselves with an extended brush as a hose pipe attached and a water softener. We've also added a caging around the outside to stop nesting birds and their droppings. And as a final point, solar panels have an average lifetime of around 25 years. So we've still got at least another 12 years left of usage. To reduce energy demand, we have put initiatives in place to reduce our energy consumption. Within our building, we have installed energy efficient appliances such as our combi boiler and variable speed compressor to maximize their lifespan and to lower daily energy consumption. It's important to note that the new appliances were only installed once the previous had reached their end of life, as this is to reduce unnecessary wastage. We have also installed LED motion sensor lighting, as with a large warehouse, office space, and production facility, some parts of the building are unused at certain parts of the day. With regards to disposing of the old lighting, the installation company ensured they would appropriately dispose of the equipment. And as a manufacturer, there are aspects of our production facility that are quite energy intensive. After reviewing our potential options, we opted for LED drying on our printing press that has a 60% lower energy consumption than traditional UV drying. And as an old 1930s steel mill, our building insulation was extremely limited. Therefore, we have had to retrofit insulation into the building shell and add additional secondary glazing, which has significantly reduced our energy loss from the building and the energy required to heat it. Again, we chose to retrofit, so we didn't have to throw out any of the old ones that were already installed. Plastic flooring tiles were also added to our production facility and warehouse that we believe has provided an additional insulation from the ground floor whilst being easier to walk on. And this may have been a bit over the top, but we also used a silicone gun to seal any gaps that we could find in our building cladding to remove cold drafts. And I forgot to add also that even though our machines produce minimal noise pollution, the secondary glazing has also provided a further noise cancelling benefit from outside the facility. I'll now pass back over to Sham to talk through our tree planting initiatives.
Thank you very much, Henry. I appreciate that. I'm going to discuss a little bit about our tree planting initiatives. We partner mainly with Carbon Footprint, and in 2018, we did that. Carbon Footprint provide a handy online tool for calculating your emissions and also work out how many trees are required to be planted in order to offset those emissions. The carbon footprint calculator works out the total emissions based on the electricity, natural gas, flights taken and staff journeys made in vehicles by Silver Fox staff, whether this be journeys to and from work or business related activities. To sign up for Carbon Footprint, there is no monthly subscription cost, and any cost involved would be the price of planting the individual tree itself, which varies depending on where the tree planting project is based. For trees planting projects here in the UK, please note that there is a VAT charge added onto the price of the tree, which is why. In addition to partnering with Carbon Footprint, we have also partnered with Review Forest. Review Forest enables us to plant one tree for every Google review that is left for our business. The trees planted from this initiative are planted within the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. And if you would like to leave a review for Silver Fox, a tree will be planted in your name. Thirdly, we have also partnered with Ecosia. Ecosia are a search engine alternative to your commonly used Google search, with the main difference being that for every 40 to 50 searches carried out, Ecosia will plant one tree. Silver Fox have added all Ecosia to all computers internally. As with Carbon Footprint, there is no monthly subscription to partner with them, and the cost of planting a tree with Ecosia is generated from ad revenues. In total, to date, we have planted 300 to 400 trees since getting on board with these initiatives. To continue our passionate drive to be an environmentally friendly company, we also work with local charities such as Woodlands Trust and Darlands Conservation Trust, to whom Silver Fox donate. I shall now pass back over to Henry, who will just go through some of the initiatives that we've taken on our products.
Waste reduction and reduced energy consumption were also considered in the development of our product range. The Fox in a Box, which is our flagship thermal printer, can print over 160 types of label with one printer, one software, and one ribbon, reducing the need for additional printers and their consumables. Furthermore, if any of you have used a thermal printer before, you'll know that they use something called roll-forward calibration, which wastes both material and engineers' resources. To combat this, we have built our own printer driver that uses roll-back calibration, meaning a user is not left with a waste bin full of blank labels that they were unable to use. Our entire range of consumable labels are designed to be packaged within the same biodegradable shipping packaging that also doubles up as a dispenser. This increases shipping efficiency and reduces excess packaging material due to a reduction in shipping air and the requirement to produce bespoke packaging for every label type. We have also ensured that all of our adhesive labels are made with a paper biodegradable release liner rather than a synthetic one commonly used in our industry. And unlike our competitors that use single-use plastic cartridges, our labels are stored, transported, and dispensed in biodegradable packaging. And back over to Sham to talk through our future initiatives.
Thanks very much, Henry. Appreciate that. So I will just go into a few details about some of the initiatives that we are looking at for the future for Silver Fox. So one of the future initiatives that we're looking at is to encourage more of our staff to walk or cycle to work. One of the potential schemes that we are looking at is potentially a cycle scheme. We are still investigating how that would work and how it would be implemented within Silver Fox. On top of this, we are also looking at further biodegradable packaging for our products to bring all of our products to 100% biodegradable packaging. The new packaging that we are looking at must meet the standard EN 13432. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this webinar and sitting through our presentation. We'd now like to open the floor up for any questions that you may have.
Thank you both for that fantastic presentation. Real kind of in-depth look into all sorts of different things that people can do to make their businesses greener and more sustainable. Few questions have come in. A lot of them are based on kind of any estimates, asking for any estimates that you can give on any return on investment that you've seen as a business, and how your business handled the initial costs of the solar panels, to the tree planting initiatives.
So I'll let Henry just start off on the solar panels, and then I can pick up on the tree planting initiatives.
So I believe current estimates put generating a kilowatt hour at around 40 to 50p, which has meant that in terms of our payback period, it took around 4 to 6 years, which I believe is pretty good for something of this size. And in terms of the machinery that we used, I think the placing UV drying instead of placing LED drying instead of UV drying actually, because UV uses such a significant amount of energy, the payback period was, I think, actually only a couple of weeks, which is pretty amazing. Sham, with tree planting.
Thanks very much, Henry. So with the tree planting initiatives, with the partners that we've partnered with, Carbon Footprint, Ecosia and Review Forest, there is no initial setup cost. It doesn't cost anything to become a part of those schemes. The only costs that would be involved would be the cost of planting the tree itself, and that would vary depending on the emissions output that's been calculated, for example, via Carbon Footprint, and by project area, so depending on where particular places are hosting their projects. So they vary. There isn't a definitive sort of price or cost to it. The initial setup costs is zero for joining them. There isn't any cost to signing up with them.
Great, that's really important to convey, I think. And just before we go into further questions, you've got a QR code there up on the screen now. So if anyone watching wants to scan that, that will take viewers to your LinkedIn page.
Yeah, so if you want to keep in touch with any of the schemes, things that we are doing here at Silver Fox, or just want to keep up to date with what Silver Fox is doing in general, please scan the QR code, and that will take you direct to our LinkedIn page, where we do posts about all the different things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, great stuff. So there's a lot of assumptions in the SME world about just how much time it takes to start up these initiatives, become more efficient. What are any kind of misconceptions that you had kind of dispelled while you were going through the process? Did some aspects take more time than you thought, or less time?
So it varied, because we're actually on a journey. So in no means is everything that we've done absolute and this is the way it should be done. We're still on a learning journey as we go through. So we look into our partners that we are, and the schemes that we are looking to get into, and we may find that we have found things that we can always improve on, or may work haven't quite worked for us, and it's all a learning journey for us. So my advice would be really to sort of have a look into them, and not to be sort of too afraid of the initial costs, or any things like that, because it's all about a learning journey for your own company. There'll be things that will work for yourself, and there will be things that don't work. It's about finding that balance, really.
Perfect. And looking at your customer base, which I presume will be some of the people in our audience as well, electrical SMEs. How have your sustainability efforts affected your discussions with your clients? Has it kind of given you an edge in your day-to-day business?
So for us, there will be those companies that are looking for sort of suppliers who are have green credentials, and so for us, it has benefited us with more and more companies looking for credentials of suppliers being more sustainable, but there are those that aren't. So we're seeing a mixture of both, really. And as we go into the future with sort of sustainability more and more on the agenda, I think you'll start to see that more and more companies will have that as a credential to who they do business with and who they work with. And one of the credentials will be how sustainable is the company that we are looking to work with.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you factor that into your decisions as well, it's not just for your clients. Great.
No, we do. Yes.
So you mentioned it's not a one size fits all approach. What would be, say, looking at the smaller end of the scale, one man band or 1 to 10 employees, what would be the easiest way to start? I'm presuming it would be with the tree planting initiatives and the subscriptions.
Yes, I would echo that. It's very much starting with the tree planting initiatives again, because they don't cost anything initial cost wise. There's no monthly subscription to join up and sign up with them. It's for the smaller companies and SMEs. It's a really good way to you know start building up your green strategies and how you could implement it. By all means, definitely, carbon footprint is our main one. It's where we calculate our carbon emissions and how many trees would need to be planted, and that primarily tells us whether we're carbon negative or carbon neutral. But in addition to that, because we are an environmentally friendly company, we look at other initiatives as well, as an addition to carbon footprint, to continue to drive our carbon negativity.
Great. So you guys are already carbon negative since 2021. What's next for Silver Fox in terms of
So we're
any new initiatives, new installations, that kind of stuff?
So we're always looking into new initiatives. These are in the early stages, but by no means set in place. We are potentially looking at potentially adding more solar panels to our factory. We're also looking at how we could potentially implement battery storage technology. And these will be things that we are investigating, but we don't have definitive answers on them at the moment. It's a work in progress. And I'm sure that when we do have further news to share on those, we will certainly do so. Which is why I say, by all means, follow us via our LinkedIn, as we do post a lot on there about what we're doing day to day.
Excellent. Perfect. So that's it for the audience Q&A. There are no more questions from the audience, unless anyone wants to drop something in there now. But I think this would be a good place to wrap up. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us on the ECA Learning Zone today. And like we said earlier, do scan that QR code up there on your screens, whether you're watching this live or on the recording, and you'll be taken straight through to Silver Fox's LinkedIn page. You can find out all sorts of more information about Silver Fox and what they do. And just a final reminder from me that this webinar has been recorded and will be on ECA's YouTube channel, along with all the other Learning Zone recordings. That's at youtube.com/ECA Live. And just a final reminder from me for any ECA members watching to log on to their members area for more information. That's eca.co.uk/myECA. And that's it from me. So thank you very much, Sham and Henry, for a great presentation.
Thank you very much for having us, Omar. And we hope
Okay,
you
have a
all
great
enjoyed
afternoon,
the
guys.
presentation. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.